So, Narad is going to soon arrive at Madra with a significant message carrying the word of faith. In one sense, not a very happy message. In the other sense, the futuristic message, what is going to happen in future, the futuristic message. He is coming from his home in paradise, what the Indian Puranas, the traditions call Vaikuntha. He dwells in Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is the home of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, the creator. And Narad is actually the devotee of Vishnu, the creator's devotee. And wherever he goes, he keeps on singing the song of his Vishnu, praise of Vishnu. Wherever he travels, he keeps on singing the name of Vishnu. In fact, that is what we have here also as a reference. He sang with the name of Vishnu in the birth. We have got here in the passage. Now, the opening passage of Narad's arrival consists of 83 lines in all, 106.14. In other words, 14 sentences. 14 sentences. Narad's coming to the earth and entering the palace is a description presented to us in 83 lines, and the total number of sentences is 14. See in there. The passage is very lyrical, very sweet, and at the same time it moves very rapidly, very swiftly. From description to description, the movement is very rapid. And it is as if a kind of a breathless journey of Narad, sweeping through all the spaces and jumping down and coming to the earth, you see. At the same time, behind that lyrical sweetness, there is the intensity of calm, there is the intensity of light, and you feel his presence, his perfume, his fragrance, his light everywhere while he's coming down. He is bringing something very sweet, something very helpful to the earth. It is in that context we can see that thing. You see. Although he is carrying a very unpalatable word of faith, you see, but the sweetness is very, very enchanting here. In silent bounds bordering the mortal's plain, crossing a wide expanse of brilliant peace, Narad, the heavenly sage from paradise, came chanting to the large and lustrous air. That is the beginning, 4-line sentence stanza. In silent bounds, not accessible to us, kept away from our view, from our senses, from our perception, and as if therefore it is a kind of a silence, you see. Bordering the mortal's plane, which also means that those bounds, those regions, those realms are very close to the earth. Very close to the earth, mortal's plane. Now he uses the word plane, but actually it also conveys a sense of world, Mrityulo, the world of death. Earth is called the Mrityu Loka. Earth is where death is present. So he comes to the mortal world, Mrityu Loka, in that sense. And of course he comes from crossing a wide expanse of brilliant peace. Now, crossing a wide expanse of brilliant, of course the peace is brilliant, and he is stepping from that brilliant peace to our world of noise and turmoil and quarrels and fights and struggle and death and ignorance. That so he is already indicating the contrast between what is there, where from he is coming, and what is here. The poet is already preparing us. Yes, he is coming from that world to our world of mortality, where there is struggle, strife, death, and things like that. Narad, the heavenly sage from paradise. Paradise, of course, here is a general term, but it specifically applies to his home, that is Vaikuntha. Narad came chanting to the large and lustrous air. Now, this is the whole thing. Wherever Narad goes, he keeps on singing, chanting. Narayana, Narayana, the name of Vishnu. He keeps on chanting all the while. Narayana, Narayana, all the while. He keeps on chanting. We are at once introduced to the sage who has stepped out from his home in paradise. His is the far off blissful home, as we are told at the end of the book. Far off blissful home. Something impels him, and immediately he prepares himself to undertake the long and arduous downward journey. Why he is coming, why he is chanting, why he is singing? There is something in him which is kind of driving him. He must go. He must go. He is presently approaching Mrityu Loka, the world of death. That is earth, you see, where things happen. The world that is under the sway of death, the world of we grieving mortals. He has left behind the realm of luminous peace. But even while he is on his way to this world, he is constantly singing in calm measure the name of Vishnu. The name of Vishnu, that is Narayana. Narayana, Narayana. Means who is the Nara means man. Lord of that, you see. Narayana. Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. The bright sky is filled with the chant. As he's coming down, you see. Now, we can also see that there is a kind of a connection between the mission he has undertaken and this song. When he is chanting the song of the Lord, it means that it is a kind of an auspicious thing which is going to happen. To our senses, perceptions, understanding, it may look calamitous, but there is something going to be auspicious out of that event, and therefore the atmosphere of joy and happiness and peace and brilliance that is there all the way through. So he's saying, he is constantly singing in calm measure, this bright sky is filled with a chant while he's coming from there. See. Attracted. Now, while he is in his paradise home, and then he's coming down here, he has crossed the borderline and is stepping into the mortal region, from the immortal into the mortal region. And then the poet is telling us as if he was kind of simply wandering, roaming in the skies aimlessly, going here, there, and all that thing, chanting, chanting, chanting in there. But as he was roaming there in the skies, he suddenly saw the earth there and got kind of attracted by the earth, and therefore he decided to change his course and come down to earth. I mean, that is his sense which is attracted. I mean, that's a way of speaking, but basically it is a kind of deliberate move of Narad. Attracted by the golden samara that lay beneath him like a glowing bowl. So, as if the earth is a bowl in the inverted form, and what you are seeing is the upper part of it, you see, that lay beneath him like a glowing bowl, tilted upon a table of the gods. Slightly tilted, because the earth is moving on a tilted axis, and you are seeing it like that, you see. So there is a kind of an astronomy also there, tilted upon a table of the gods. The table of the gods here is of course the oval-shaped table. The path the earth traces in the sky is elliptical. So it is an elliptical table, you see, oval-shaped, you see. To catch, turning as if moved round by an unseen hand, to catch the warmth and blaze of a small sun. The earth is constantly moving around the sun as if it is the moment to seize the light, the warmth, the joy of the sun itself. Small sun. Luckily, it is small sun. Otherwise, earth would not have existed. It would have got burnt, you see. Seated upon a table of the gods, turning as if moved round by an unseen hand, to catch the warmth and blaze of a small sun, he passed from the immortals' happy path to a world of toil and quest and grief and hope, to the ruins of a seesaw game of death and life, death and life. So now he has shown the contrast already, you see. He is in brilliant peace, the worlds above, and now he is entering into the world of toil and quest and grief and hope. And see the beat also of it, to a world of toil and quest and grief and hope. See, the meter is going along with that beat, you see. The world of toil and quest and grief and hope. Now, this is essentially from the medical sense. To a world, it is NFS, short, short, long. To a world. And the other 4 feet are amps, short, long, of toil and quest and grief and hope. So short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, 4 times. You see. To the ruins of a seesaw game of death and life. So he has come now where there is a constant skirmish between death and life here, and he is entering into the mortal world, into the mortal plane, you see. Now, unfortunately, in this line, to these rooms of a seesaw game of death and life, the revised edition has something different. To the rooms of the seesaw game of death with life. Of death with life. As if the importance is given more to death with life, you see. See, but the balance, seesaw, balance is not maintained there, see. Death with life, you see. It doesn't tell, you see. So I will go by this line, game of death and life. Now, actually, death and life is significant also. It is actually death which is promoting life. It is death which makes life grow, make progress. Because of death, that our progress is possible. Constantly we are able to. So in the present circumstances, in our present state of consciousness, death is helping us to make more and more progress. Death and life. Later on, we have a very similar description. Savitri tells, until now, my understanding was that life was all, and I did not know the meaning of death. Now I understood the meaning of death and how. 142.93. Life only was my blind attempt to love. Earth saw my struggle. Heaven, my victory. All shall be seized, transcended. They shall kiss, casting their veils before the marriage fire, the eternal bridegroom and eternal bride. In fact, the meaning becomes clearer if you go to the previous sentence, 142.92. For now, at last, I know beyond all doubt, the great stars burn with my unceasing fire. Savitri tells that the stars are burning because of my fire, because of unceasing fire of mine. The great stars burn with my unceasing, and life and death are both its fuel made. Life and death are both its fuel made. It is life and death, they are feeding the fire and the stars because of that. Both are there simultaneously. And then life, until now, I did not realize that. Until now, I did not realize that. Now I realize that the stars are burning and the fuel for the stars are life and death. Until now, I was saying life only was my blind attempt to love. Only with life I was loving the whole creation. But I see that death also has some role to play in that love. Something is there that is. And therefore, here again, to the rooms of the seesaw game of death and life. Death and life. Constantly it goes on, you see. So while crossing the region of large and lustrous air, Narad must have seen many wonderful things coming from world to world. Noticed many marvels. He must have admired them, loved them, appreciated them also. But some inscrutable urge draws him especially towards this golden summer earth. He is wanting the skies and there are marvels everywhere, but there was something inscrutable, something special in the earth, and it is that which attracted him. We are not told yet that it was with a specific intention that he had undertaken the journey. Narad. It seems that in spite of the condition of toil and quest and grief and hope in this mortal world, in spite of the constant tussle between death and life that has been going on here since long, he chooses to live the happy past of the immortals, past of those who know not the hard slog and anguish and woe that we, the mortals, bear. But he is still the chant of joy, in spite of that condition, the chant of joy, because the earth is all the while making an effort to catch the warmth of a small sun. There is a joy in that. The earth is making an effort, aspiring to catch the warmth of the sun, and therefore he joys also, as if to escape the shadow of white death, of the Supreme Himself. His shadow is there. It is that, as if to escape. The sun is there, the whole thing is bright. To escape that thing, he wants to go and kind of merge into the sun. To make the sun, howsoever small it be, at the center of all our activities is one of the finest things that one can be occupied with. In it is a bright meaning of the very existence itself to catch the sun. Now, when you are moving in a circle, you can move in a circle by constantly falling. To go in the circle, you have to constantly fall. You are cycling, taking a curve, you are constantly falling. You are taking a left turn, you are leaning on the left side constantly like that. You have to keep on falling. So, in order to maintain the circle, the orbit, the earth is constantly falling towards the sun. Constantly, you see. Well, that is the law of physics also. What is called the centripetal force is there, it is pulling the earth towards the center, you see. So, then he has now from the silent bounds, he has come to the immortal regions, now he is coming into the across the intangible border of soul space. From above he is coming from the immortal world, the world of the soul. From there now he is stepping into our earth. Across an intangible border of soul space, he passed from mind into material things, amid the inventions of the inconscient self and the working of a blind, somnambulist force. This is a packed sentence, see, basically. Across the border, intangible border, we have soul space. What we have got here, basically, uh, in the 14th canto of the second book, the world soul. Narada is coming from the world soul down below, you see. And he is coming from that world soul into the world of mind. He is transiting from the spiritual plane into the world soul, into the world of mind.